All right, boys. Welcome to the frying pan. Co-host Stags here as always. You want to introduce our illustrious guest?
I think we had a good one this week. RFL rookie. He's kind of putting the league on notice on the hottest team in the RFL. Let's welcome him in.
All I ever wanted was a black grand national. Fuck being rational. Give them what they asked for.
Tommy,
It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll reach that, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I make them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Pad. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. Need you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay a bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll reach that, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I make them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Pad. Yeah.
Stop.
He's working. He's put the seatbelt.
Thomas?
Happy to be here, gentlemen. Great to have you here. This guy was on our first ever episode of the Frying Pan.
Yeah.
After quite a few pictures at the bowling alley. Oh yeah, happy to be back.
Somehow, we drove home.
I didn't. Anyways. Alright guys, as you know, we like to kick it off with 7 Minutes in Hell, presented by the Christ Hospital. Tommy, you got the floor.
Yeah, so I contacted the Christ CEO, let him know there's an upcoming league, bunch of hard-nosed guys playing football, and they're like, we need to get on board. So this week is sponsored by the Christ Hospital.
You got the floor?
Oh, 7 Minutes in Hell, sorry. Yeah, my 7 Minutes in Hell is, it's actually going to be a little longer than 7 minutes, but I'm not going to say much. 7 Minutes in Hell is Barons versus Knights game tape. It's about 40 minutes in hell. They didn't know what they were doing out there. That's my 7 minutes in hell. 40 minutes of game tape.
Alright. That's it. You didn't not a lot to say there. You know, watch the tape, kind of speaks for itself. So we'll move on. We'll go to the player of the week. You're looking at him. Me and Tommy, I took home offensive, 20 catches, 6 touchdowns, 223 yards for the offensive player of the week. Back to back, you know.
You're letting him know. I mean, Tanner's feeding you, as he should. You got your partner in crime back now, so I think
Feels good.
It's a dynamic duo. RFL's got to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would like to see one of the other teams step up and win a player of the week, because right now, I mean, the Knights and Cougs are owning the player of the week awards. I think the only other guy that's won an award is Clanky. He won a defensive, but Straw Hats and Feelers still not showing up on the awards yet. So, got to step it up a little bit. I want to see every team bring home an award at some point. Take it to Tommy, defensive player of the week. Kind of his official RFL debut, his first full game back. 10 tackles, 2 picks, several pass breakups, and he had a touchdown, and I think about 100 yards on offense as well.
Yeah, man, it feels great to be back. We got a real two-headed monster on our team. As far as like film goes for the rest of the teams, pick one and pray is all I got to say. Because if I'm not doing it, Vince is going to do it, and if Vince isn't doing it, I'm going to do it. So, and then defense is you might as well throw it up there and hope one of us doesn't get to it. So. I'm happy to be in the league. My first game, I hope to stay healthy, but I think I cemented myself, and I'm ready to keep on going.
Not so fast, partner. This guy's played one game. He had a good game, but I think we need to see more out of him. Defensively, I think Tommy looks like a dog, but can he guard guys that aren't Seth? I don't know. I think Seth was a good matchup for Tommy. He matches up well with him, but can Tommy guard the faster guys? I don't know. Especially with that hamstring injury, I think he's still got a lot to prove. So I think we'll see in coming weeks.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I'm obviously high on myself, but I think that's fair league wide. So,
Right. I mean, I think you're allowed to be after this week's game. Pretty solid debut.
I mean, your quarterback's cooking too. So he's kind of
15 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
he's kind of hit a hot streak, so that's something to look forward to as well.
oh yeah.
All right, let's cover last week's games. First, we're gonna go with Cougs versus Feelers. Steigs, take it away.
Another ass whooping. Mark's crying after the game. Mark's crying during the game.
Some say you guys might have sent him to the emergency room.
I mean,
It could have been your guys'
come on,
fault.
dude. Come on, dude. But look, I mean, Cougs are cooking. Nobody can stop us. It is what it is. What can you do?
Yeah, Cougs are stacked. Hopefully the Knights, coming into form. I'm really high on my team. I'm really high on myself and all my teammates. But I still don't know if we could beat the Cougs. But I think we might give you guys a game.
I think
Nobody's
so.
really giving you guys a game yet. So I'm not saying we're gonna win, but maybe make you guys sweat a little bit.
I think for sure.
Something.
Yeah. I think the Knights are definitely a team we're looking out for now. So
I think the Cougs would enjoy having to play in a close game.
yeah, I mean, honestly, once we're up 3 touchdowns, it's like, how hard do I really want to try? Not really. I'm still gonna put up stats.
I think probably the only close game in Cougs history was last year's Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I can't really think of another game where you guys were actually having to try.
No, I think the hard part about our team is, even if it is close, the other team might let off the gas pedal a little bit, but the Cougs are always going. We're going full speed all the time. It's hard to stop the moving train.
Yeah, you guys just really no weak spots. I mean, even your guys' like bottom receiver, not saying worst receiver, but just stats wise, Zach, he's still on most teams could be a wide receiver too.
For sure.
And I think he's a threat at any time. Got good hands, speed, smart guy.
Agreed. Yeah.
So
As far as the Feelers go, I mean, we'll see who they bring out next week, but it seems like they keep trying to switch up teams because they suck donkey dick. But, I mean, they brought Antonio this week. Pretty average. I mean, he's better than Brandon, but
he definitely
so is my left nut. So
He definitely looked better than Brandon on offense, which some of that could be due to Brandon not getting targets even when he's in the game, because I think Brandon looked improved when he was on the field. But defensively still looks like could be some issues there. And I will say, love Antonio, but he may have had one of the worst plays in RFL history.
yes, I would agree. That's the biggest blunder in RFL history for sure.
Backwards lateral, straight off Kamish's dome.
Also, the worst stamina I think I've seen in the RFL. He was gassed. Dan was running around him.
I mean, guys
Maybe
don't
even
realize,
more than Brandon.
Guys don't realize how hard it is.
It's tough. Yeah, I'm curious to see, Feelers lost another game, probably cutting another guy. I know Charlie's hurt, but it's like, just seems like every time the Feelers lose a game, they drop somebody. So Coyle and Connor might be on the chopping block next. If we beat the Feelers this week, they might be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be on that team because it just seems like one loss and you're gone.
Yeah, I think the Feelers locker room is not too good right now. A lot of upset guys, especially Mark. We'll see.
How'd he do? I honestly...
Mark did good. I
Okay.
mean, Mark's Mark. He's one of the best players in the league. He's going to have a good game, but he can only carry that team so far, He's a diamond in the rough on that team.
I will say their newest acquisition, Bryson. From what I've seen of him, dude throws a nice spiral.
I think he's definitely going to help the Feelers. Will he help them win? Maybe. He might be able to beat the Hats. That's my take.
Dedicated-
Maybe the Barons.
Dedicated guy too. He's coming out and he's not even playing. Now he's on a team. So
Yeah,
watch out.
I think he deserves it. He deserves
For sure.
the call up for sure.
100%.
I would like to say get well soon, Charlie.
Mhm.
Charlie Feeler, one of the founding fathers of the RFL.
Yep. Sounds like he's got maybe one game left. Wish him the best, though.
Kind of a farewell game.
Yeah.
Gonna miss that guy. Love him to death. My first GM, first guy to believe in me.
Mhm.
Threw me quite a few touchdowns last year. He's gonna be dearly missed.
Led you guys to the Super Bowl.
He did. Say what you want about the Feelers, but they have made a Super Bowl appearance.
Maybe one day they'll be back.
Maybe one day. We hope. They might not be the Feelers anymore, but all right. Next game from last week, we got Knights versus Barons. Tommy, if you want to give some insight.
Yeah, so I feel like it started off pretty well. Like it almost game of the week.
All offense, no defense.
Yeah,
For
all
sure.
offense,
All gas, no
defense.
brakes.
We were trying to figure it out. Both teams were trying to figure it out defensively. Kind of what their trees were going to look like, what we should do on defense, who was guarding who. But yeah, it started off pretty well. I think it was like close to the end of the first half. Like it was pretty tight. It was like one touchdown game, and then Clanky just decided to give you 20 yards of cushion. And I know a lot of guys were, and we'll touch on it a little bit later. A lot of guys were mad of what we were doing on offense, but I mean, don't fix it if it ain't broken. It was working every time. They're not going to make an adjustment. Well, what can we do? So, but yeah, I think up until about the end of the first half, it looked really good, and then it just kind of got away. Got away from the Barons. A lot of drop balls all over the field. Defense kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I think once the rain came down, itsy bitsy spider, the rain washed away the Barons' hopes at getting a win.
Last week, I put a clueless kid on blast.
Jeez.
His poor, pathetic face was everywhere. WWE posted it, and you all loved it.
Yeah, they have. That is and there's been some games. Looking fire, caught for the touchdown.
Second goal, missed wide open. Number 2.
Is anyone guarding me?
And self-proclaimed. Vince cuts back. Oh, he's got a hole. And nothing. Homework and porn.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm smarter and stale competition. I got the whole block wishing.
And there, oh my goodness.
That's the record.
A new RFL record. 6 receiving touchdowns in one game.
Are you kidding me?
That's 6.
Is Clanky playing today?
I don't know. Someone tell Jacob Clanky there's a game today.
Never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate.
I know the Barons were crying. I know pretty much the entire RFL was crying about the way our offense was ran, but all I gotta say is fucking stop it. Like, if it was that easy, then every team could do it. The Barons could have done it, but they don't have me.
Yeah.
So
I will say it wasn't exciting to watch, but at the end of the day, it was raining. You can't throw it deep, and they were guarding the deep ball, and they never made an adjustment. So, like, for you guys, what are you supposed to do? If I'm defending the RFL in general, because everybody was crying about it, hey, I get it. But, I mean, you almost have to be more mad at the Barons for they kind of forced you guys to do that.
I agree, because I heard a lot of comments about our offense and throwing drags or throwing a little pitch every play, but, I mean, Barons have to stop it. Our entire game plan, I looked at Tanner and I just told him, if he's going to give me 20 yards of cushion, just flip it to me. Let me go to work. We thought that they would eventually creep up and we could throw it over their head, but we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop it if it's working. And,
Exactly. And what I said at the beginning, like when we first started, was we pick one. You either got to guard the little drag routes, the little pitches, or you got to guard the deep ball. And if you can't guard both, then you're kind of out of luck. What do you want us to do? We're not just going to give the game up. I mean, we're going to do what's working. If that's what's working, then we're going to keep doing it until you make an adjustment.
Yeah, and it might be scary. The Knights looked built for the rain. And going into spring weather, we could see a lot of rain.
I mean, I think we got more rain this week, so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Straw Hats take a page out of our book and they try the same thing. Like I said, it's a fair game. Anyone can do it.
I think you got to look out for the quick teams in the rain because you can do that and it's hard to stop. So
it wasn't necessarily the sexiest offense, but we're just trying to get wins out here. We're doing what it takes and
Did what worked.
a little ground and pound.
Yeah.
Tough
Tough-nosed football out there. Like we said, coming into this league, the Knights are first and foremost, we're looking to put up stats. We're looking to put up numbers. The wins will come. It's exactly what we did this week. There were 2 RFL records set, sadly by me, but I set the catches record with 20 and the touchdowns record with 6. So I don't know. Clanky had a rough day on defense. I don't want to give him too much of a hard time. I'll let you guys do that.
Yeah, I think some people were saying that there were 4 guys on the field, and Clanky was just kind of nowhere to be found. Again, I don't want to give him too much shit because it seems like, Clanky's pretty hard on himself. So, Tommy, if you got anything.
I mean, I wouldn't want to guard me either.
Yeah.
Just to keep it real.
I mean, just kind of back to what we were saying. Like, they just didn't make an adjustment. Clanky pretty much wasn't on the field because he was giving 20 yards of cushion to one of the fastest guys in the RFL. And if we're running 5-yard routes every single time, 10 times in a row, you'd think on one of those 10 times he'd scoot up.
Yeah. I think in the rain you got to press, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, you have to.
Because, I mean, one, it's going to be hard to catch the deep ball.
It's going to be hard to throw the deep ball.
Exactly. It's going to be hard to throw the deep ball. So I think you have to press in the rain and make the quarterback,
something. You got to get safety help because even if a guy does get open downfield, even AJ, I'm sure, would struggle in the rain a little bit throwing a 30-yard pass downfield. So, you just got to make the adjustment. They just didn't make the adjustment. I don't know.
Yeah, it was tough week for the Barons. Rain kind of squashed their hopes of getting a win.
Even tougher week for the Hats. They didn't even get to play.
Yeah, poor Hats.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I know Andrew was wanting to play. We were wanting to play as well, but I think it was in the best interest of both teams just taking the week off. It would have been a shit show.
Yeah.
Stats and film would have been squashed. So, we'll see them later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully with our full roster, and hopefully their full roster.
Mm-hmm.
So next we'll take it to beef of the week. We didn't have a lot going on this week. First one I have written down is Luke versus Holman.
Yeah.
Big hit during the game.
Luke came out, possibly played through the game with a concussion. Not convinced he didn't.
Gotta respect the grit out of Luke.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a tough guy.
Tough guy. Yeah, Holman was getting handsy out there like he does. I'm pretty sure the league knows about it, and Luke just sadly had to be on the receiving end of that this week. It was getting pretty feisty out there.
Yes, that's one of our beefs of the week. The second one we have written down here is Clanky versus defense.
Yeah.
So if you want to touch on that one.
Yeah, I think Clanky hated defense this week. He was more looking to make an impact on the offensive side of the ball. I would say another beef is Clanky versus Clanky. You could tell he was getting pretty mad at himself out there. And unfortunately, his defense wasn't really helping him out. Again, they made no adjustments. Maybe put somebody else on Vince. Maybe press.
Bring safety up, something.
They had no coaching help this week. So
Yeah.
look for them to add a head coach in the coming weeks.
Okay. And I'm not trying to give Clanky too much of a hard time because he's a competitor and he really wasn't talking much shit to me. And I was chirping him a little bit, but it was all out of love. The one comment I will have to address is that he said if it wasn't raining, he would have locked me down.
Mm-hmm.
And, I kind of told him, if it wasn't raining, you probably would have held me to only 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. So the rain definitely played into that.
I will say, I have also heard Clanky say he would lock down Mark Clark. And I don't know if that, I don't know if he can.
But maybe we see a bounce back week out of him.
Maybe.
He's motivated.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people are saying he was a one-hit wonder. He had one great week. It looks to be that way right now, but maybe he does bounce back.
Yeah. All right, next we're going to take it to upcoming matchups. So the Cougs have a bye week this week due to, some possible tornado warnings. Weather seems pretty rough for this weekend. So first matchup, we got Knights versus Feelers. Tommy, if you want to touch on that real quick.
Yeah, it's honestly going to be a hard one to talk about because we don't know who's playing for the Feelers. I assume Mark's going to be there. I assume Connor's going to be there.
Mark is not going to be there.
So Mark's not. So Connor's going to be there, and
Coyle's also not going to be there.
Oh, jeez.
So right now, I believe it is Connor, Bryson, AJ. I don't know who the other. No, I think Brandon's playing this week because we're playing on Saturday.
Okay.
So and then a sub for Coyle and Charlie, or no, Bryson subbing for Charlie. So sub for Coyle. I don't know who that'll be.
Yeah. Could be who's the sub this week for the Hats? Spencer. Maybe Spencer comes back. Yeah.
Valid sub.
Yeah. So that definitely changes things.
No Mark.
No Mark, but is getting AJ, which I feel is pretty. We saw when AJ subbed for us, pretty decent offensive threat. So he hasn't played the position enough for me to be like, yeah, he is as good as Mark Clark, but definitely comparable for sure. So he's definitely going to be someone to look out for on defense.
I think I think AJ is as good as Mark, honestly. I mean, he's played one game. He had like 100 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I know he's not as big as Mark, but I think he's faster and stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's a pretty good comparison. I mean, he's still bigger than he's still second biggest guy in the RFL.
Oh, for sure. Great,
crazy athlete. So
it's one of the better subs that we've had, like as far as like skill wise goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be someone to look out for. Bryson, you know, who knows? He does throw a good spiral. You know, he's there every week. Shout out that guy, even when he's not playing. But looks like he throws a good ball. How does he read a defense? You know,
I mean, it helps that he's been on the sideline every week. He's been reading defenses.
Yeah, he's been watching.
He's ready to go, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. If Brandon is playing, which I think he is, him versus Nick will be a good matchup.
Well, Nick's not going to be there, so Nick has, I believe, his grandpa's birthday.
Grandma's.
Somebody's birthday dinner on Saturday, and so he will not be there. So you guys will witness the possible RFL debut of Papa Stainer.
Wow.
That's one of my good friends. Bigger guy, probably about 320.
Yeah.
6'1" but
real bowling ball.
Yeah,
real bowling.
Mike Tolbert-esque.
Yeah, strong guy.
Real strong.
I would say his comp's like maybe a little bit slower, Big Dan.
Yeah.
Probably not great stamina.
He said he's been running a mile a day, so that, I mean, it's probably still not great stamina, but he says he's in the best shape he's ever been in.
Hey, there we go.
And I know the RFL is going to love him. He's originally was supposed to be Brandon's sub. That could still be in the works, but I think he's a good sub for Brandon because they're both big personalities.
Yeah, for sure.
Says Papa Stain, he's a big character.
Someone bring him some chocolate and some Gatorade.
Yes, he is diabetic, so we will have Nurse Tommy on watch.
Oh yeah, definitely bring in some orange juice, some apple juice,
some sweets.
Some sweets, yeah. But yeah, well, that's an even better matchup thing because Seth's gonna be a new guy, seeing what he's got against Brandon, who's been in the RFL. So we'll see what happens there. I think it's gonna be a good matchup overall. It should be a really good game.
I think it might be in the rain again. So I think Saturday's weather still sucks. So
will they press you?
Yeah, I was about to say, feelers, watch game film, please. We don't want any asterisks on our win like some people were saying for last week. We don't want to win like that. But if you're gonna give it to us, we're gonna do it. So
I mean, I'm gonna come out and say it. I think AJ's probably gonna guard me and probably gonna press me. That is a tougher matchup for me to face up against, but who's guarding Tommy? This could be a big Tommy game because if AJ's gonna press me, maybe he takes me off the field, but that's why we got 2 guys.
Pick one.
Right.
That's what the Cougs do.
Exactly. So next matchup we got the Barons versus Straw Hats. Calling it right now, I think this is a game of the week matchup. Potentially the rain's gonna fuck it, but it could have been a game of the year matchup. I think these 2 teams are pretty evenly matched. They're both trying to fight their way up into the standings. I believe they're 3rd and 4th right now. So yeah, both teams are fighting for a lot. Barons are coming off a tough loss. Hats are coming off a bye, and I know they're hungry.
Yeah. I mean, for me, give me the Barons. I think they're going to cement themselves as the number 3 team in the league. I think they need this win more than anyone. So, give me the Barons in this one.
Give me the Hats. I think Alex's speed is going to be tough to face off against. I mean, you saw what I just did to him, and Alex is faster than I am. So, if I can do that, good luck. Maybe take some notes from last week, but Alex is fast as shit, so if it's a rain game and we're doing little pitches to Alex, good luck. I wouldn't want to have to go against that.
Yeah.
I got to go Hats as well. Pretty much same reason. And then they also have Noah. Can't forget about that guy. So he's going to be open if Alex isn't. Yeah, give me the Hats.
All right. Okay, so next I think we're going to take it to callers. All right. Got a little bit of I'm going to switch up the game plan on y'all. First live caller in RFL history.
Wow.
We have a live audience right now.
We do.
Tanner Ellis.
Bring him in.
Come on to the pod. This guy's here. He's hanging out, so we're just going to bring him on instead of calling him.
Hanging out, drinking beer.
Yep.
Real American.
All right, Tanner. Give me your baby game shitter of the week for next week's matchups. Or this week's matchup.
Next week's matchups. Cougs aren't playing.
So you got either a Barons, hats, or feelers? Player that you think is going to be the baby game shitter of the week. Presented by Pampers, sorry.
Or Knights.
Can't go Knights. Can't do Knights. I'm going to go Noah Smith. Because
Hot take.
weather's going to be bad, so they're going to try to do the night strategy. Soft pitches to Alex, let him go off, and I don't think they can make the deep throws. Noah's not a threat across the middle, and I know that because I guarded him. Didn't really do anything. I think it's going to be Noah.
All right. Fair enough. All right, second question coming at you. This is our curveball question of the week. We like to throw something at you. We're going a kind of a curveball of a curveball here. Instead of asking, like, whose mom you want to fuck or who's getting a DUI, we're getting a little more sophisticated on the frying pan this week. So, Tanner Ellis, what's your favorite book you've ever read?
I haven't read a lot of books. Life of Pi.
Okay, that is a true curveball.
Sophisticated answer.
So the ending shocked me, and I don't read books.
Okay.
But I think the tiger didn't even exist. Is that what happened?
I've never read it.
Someone fact check me on that.
Sorry, spoiler if you're a big Life of Pi fan. You're looking to read that.
Somebody's halfway through that book.
I don't think the tiger exists, and I'm sorry if I ruined that.
Well, I mean, you could say the tiger, kind of like the Barons defense, it just doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The tiger, so the Barons defense is no longer called the Barons defense. It's called the tiger. So if you play the Barons, don't worry about the tiger.
It's not real.
It's not real.
All right. Third question. Who in the RFL has the worst hands? So, who's one guy that just cannot catch a ball to save his life?
This guy has done nothing wrong in his life, I believe. And his name is Marcus Flannery. It just has to go to Marcus. I mean, I could throw a ball underhanded to him while he's running left. I just don't think he'll catch it. And I hope he proves me wrong. I'd love to see Marcus go off for 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
I don't know if Marcus has scored a touchdown yet this year.
I don't think he has.
And I'm not trying to harp on him. I'm just saying I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it because I know when he scores that touchdown, it's going to be pure cinema.
I think we should all jump him in the end zone.
I'm ready for that celebration.
I think we
I
need
know he's
to
got
put him on our
something.
shoulders and celebrate the touchdown.
Marcus, I know you can do it. I believe in you. I'm going to get you fired up. Scarzy's got more touchdowns in the RFL than you do. So I expect a big game out of Marcus this week.
Hey, you score a touchdown, I'll buy you a beer.
Okay. All right, last question. We're going to ask you a hot take for the week.
Hot take for the week. I think the Feelers' new team, whoever it may be, I think they put up a really good competition against our Knights.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be like the last 2 weeks have been where we win by 20. I think it's going to be, I think we're going to win, but I don't think it's going to be as far out as everyone thinks it is.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the Feelers are going to have more chemistry with a team they pick up off the side of the road than they do with Mark, Charlie, Brandon, Coyle, and Connor.
Yep. All right. Great takes from you. Appreciate you. Thanks for
No problem.
hopping on. Get back in the studio audience.
Yes. If anyone wants a laugh track, I'll do it.
All right.
Thank you, Tanner.
So now we'll go to our actual callers. I believe we have AJ and Connor lined up. Sadly, no one else stepped to the plate.
Hello.
Connor, welcome to the frying pan.
Glad to be back once again. No one else wants to do this, so.
One of our most loyal callers.
Yes. I would say you might love the frying pan the most out of anyone in the RFL.
Frying pan's biggest fan.
I've always been a big fan.
Thank you, Connor. First question for you this week. Give us a hot take.
My hot take, and I put it down. I'm not sure if you guys. I think you guys will get to it, but I think the Knights have established themselves as the number 2 team in this league.
Yeah.
I think that's my hot take. You know, it was a very good showing. You know, Vince showed up. You know, made me eat my words. So I'm happy for the Knights. Tanner, if you're there, you're a class quarterback. I'm glad it's all working out for you guys.
Wow.
Appreciate the love, Connor. It feels good. All right, we're going to go second question, which is our curveball question of the week. We got a real curveball for you this week. We're going to ask you, Connor, what's your favorite book you've ever read?
I'll go. Of Mice and Men was pretty good.
Damn, okay. Classy answer.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah, that was a good book.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, and I also was a big fan of, not necessarily like a reading book, but I used to, when I was a kid, I had a WWE encyclopedia. It all had all like the wrestlers.
Hell yeah.
That's a good book.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
It was John Cena.
Fuck yeah, that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Possibly another potential curveball question. We could ask people, who's your favorite WWE wrestler of all time?
Oh, I like it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think AJ will like that.
we might ask him that. He's our next caller. All right, third, we're going to ask you, Connor, who has the worst hands in the RFL?
I would say Nick.
Okay.
I hate to say it. I thought he turned the corner. He's still an excellent defender. I think Marcus just about with his previous performances. I would have said Marcus like week one, but I think it's just about Nick.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Marcus has been turning around. Yeah. All right. Finally, we're gonna ask who's your baby game shitter of the week for the upcoming week, presented by Pampers.
Who's playing the Cougs?
Cougs are on a bye, so you got Knights, Feelers, and Barons hats.
Barons hats. I have a feeling that it's gonna be a bad game from Andrew.
Okay.
In the rain.
This Barons defense has got to show up. Clanky had a terrible defensive game. No offense to him, he's normally the best defensive player in this league, but I think they got to show up, and the Barons got to show up after what they, 6 touchdowns. There's no excuse for that. They just let you, it's just like a run play every single time. They just did not guard you at all, Vince. So I think they're going to have to show up, and Andrew's going to have a tough game because of it.
Yeah, I think it might be a tough week for quarterbacks around the league because I think we're looking at some more rain on Saturday. So
yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, I'm excited for Bryson to be joining the Feelers. I think he's going to be a good addition. No offense to Charlie. But I think we'll be improved at quarterback.
Yeah, we've been talking about Bryson a little bit on the pods. There's a mean spiral.
Yeah, I think the whole RFL is kind of excited for Bryson just because the dude's there every week. And
I played with him last year on the Straw Hats. Pretty solid quarterback. It didn't have the greatest year. Straw Hats didn't have the greatest year, but it was always a good time. I was one of the best wide receivers in the league. I'm continuing that this year, I think. But I think it would be nice to have him back.
Oh yeah.
All right, Connor. Appreciate you calling in.
Yep. We'll talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure.
All right, see you, man. All right. Then we got AJ lined up. Kamish, big fan of the pod.
Interested to hear what his favorite WWE superstar is.
Undertaker.
Hello.
Kamish, welcome to the frying pan.
Hey, how we doing, fellas?
Welcome. QB1.
QB1.
Can we get a hot take from you for this upcoming week?
Commissioner Gillespie's hot take of the century.
Yeah, they have. That is and there's Vince again for the third time. And Vince, he's not much of a yard. He doesn't get a ton of yards. He's not like a 200-yard a game guy.
Shut up, bitch!
I do have a hot take, and it's pretty biased. And I gotta say, before I say it, I mean no disrespect to anybody. It's just meant as a compliment to the squad that I'm referencing. But the Pittsburgh Feelers are gonna beat the Knights on Saturday night.
Wow.
I'm not just saying it, I am guaranteeing it.
Wow.
What are you putting on the line, though?
What am I putting on the line? I didn't think about
Put
that.
your money where your mouth is.
You want to throw a friendly wager on the game?
Yeah.
AJ loves betting, so.
I'll throw $20 that the Steelers are going to beat the Knights on Saturday.
Wow.
We'll take that.
All right,
We'll
bet.
take that action.
Let's do it. I'm confident, man. I know it's getting done.
All right. Hey, that's a very hot take. Scalding hot, some would say.
That's a good team. They've been playing well. I'd say it's just more confidence in the Steelers. I'm very excited to sub for them. So it's a first-class organization, and I think we're going to get it done.
All right. Second question we got for you here. Here's our curveball question of the week. We'd like to ask you, AJ, what is your favorite book you've ever read?
Favorite book I've ever read? I'm going to go Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yes! That is the fucking answer. The bet hits. We were calling it pre-pod. Someone was going to say Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, that was me. That's 100% me. And as a teacher, I should probably read more. So I'll be honest, I don't think I've read a book in full since probably like 7th grade. It's probably that one. So,
He's educating our youth, guys.
yeah. Don't read always.
You've never read a book about Hitler?
Nope. I'm not.
Well, I was gonna say AJ's favorite book is Mein Kampf.
Some say he wrote it.
I've written a book. I can't tell you what it's called, but I've written a book. I've never read a book fully since 7th grade.
Which one?
Okay, Tanner is our live studio audience currently, and Tanner would like to know which Diary of a Wimpy Kid volume is your favorite.
I'm gonna go with Roger Rule.
Oh, that's a solid one.
It's the only right
That's a
answer.
good one. Yeah. That one's good. Dog Days is pretty good. The yellow one.
Yep.
I'm a big Cabin Fever guy myself.
I was about to say
Light
the blue
blue.
one.
Fever's fine.
The blue one's
That's
great.
underrated. Yeah, the light blue one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Cabin Fever is underrated for sure.
RFL, very very well read organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Next question we got. Who is your favorite WWE superstar?
Man, I don't know a ton about the WWE, but when I was like 10, I went to this kid's birthday party, and he was just a huge Rey Mysterio fan.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
That was Tommy.
Great answer.
So we thought you were a WWE fan because Connor mentioned that you would love the WWE question.
I don't know why I said that. I'm not a WWE fan by any means.
Okay, a little bit of a misunderstanding there. And
I
then,
don't know what the hell you're talking about.
all right, and then the final question we got for you. Who is your baby game shitter of the week for the upcoming week?
Baby game shitter of the week. So we got kind of a weird week here. I got to think about it. So we got Straw Hats, Barons, right?
Yeah, Knights Steelers.
And Knights Steelers. Okay. For this upcoming week.
Yep.
I was really hoping I could do it last week.
You can go last week.
All right, I'll go last week. I'm going Jacob Clinky, man. That was fucking pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. And I'm just going to go ahead, since I have the mic here, I'm just going to go ahead and call his ass out. Okay, if you're going to call yourself a top corner in the league, okay, and then you're not even going to have the balls to stack up and try to press somebody at the line. I mean, you're facing the top 3, top 4, honestly, probably top 2 receiver in the league right now. And we don't even know if you can guard him. You shouldn't even try. It's pathetic. Honestly, it's pathetic. And, if I ever see that shit again, he's on my team, he's not going to guard anybody. His ass is on the sideline. We're playing 5-on-4.
Right. I hated what I had to do to him, but, we were just kind of taking what the defense gave us.
Yeah, man, that's all you can do. I mean, he's not even challenging. He's not even challenging. Soft.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's soft.
I got one more question for you, AJ. In the RFL, who do you think has the worst hands?
Worst hands? I mean, as much as I would like to say Luke, it's got to be Nick. I mean, Nick. I think it's got to be Nick. I mean, he's just so. I mean, he legitimately probably has about a 30% chance of catching the ball. Yeah, I love the guy, but I mean, I literally 2 weeks ago when I subbed for the Knights, we did a little halfback pass and I threw it to him wide open, nobody within 20 yards, hit him right in the hands, was wearing gloves, and he dropped it. So I think I got to go Nick. But if we're talking pure target, I mean, right now it's Holman. That dude's got I want to say he has 5 catches on the year for on 25 targets or something stupid. So but at pure hands it's Nick. But if we're talking about just not being able to reel in targets, I got to go Holman.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting him up to speed. He got a touchdown this week. I think rest of the season he'll grab a couple more.
Yeah, I don't think his hands are like bad necessarily, but like I'm just saying like his like catch to target like ratio is like really bad.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's accurate or not, I can't really say, but it's been pretty bad.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Kamish.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, good luck on the feelers this week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's you know, maybe I'll be completely wrong, but we do have Bryson playing quarterback. Coyle is out, so Charlie's gonna be a receiver for probably his last game. He does have a broken toe, so
We're gonna look to attack that.
yeah, but I like the squad we're rolling out there. You know, I think it's a real you know, some close guys. You know, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I think we're gonna find a way to get it done.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, good luck on defense, because you know we're thinking you're gonna guard me, and that's fine. I think you're a good defender. I think where the problem's gonna be is who's covering Tommy.
Yeah, that could be a problem. That could definitely be a problem. Yeah, I might switch back and forth. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we haven't talked about strategy. We're actually on Xbox together right now.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of strategy after that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. You know, I can tell you one thing. I'm not gonna, you know, whoever I'm guarding, I'm not gonna approach it like Planky did last week. Just playing 15 yards off the line. Not really sure I understood that one.
Questionable decision making.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. You know, good matchup, and yeah.
All right, so we're looking forward to taking your money.
Yeah. Don't feel bad or anything, but I am an unpaid student teacher.
RFL, feel free to donate to this league's betting.
There's no harm in being a bigger person and not taking my money.
Okay. Okay.
Who's the guest? Is there no guest this week?
Tommy.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yes, sir.
What's up, Tommy?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Excited to play this week.
Yep.
Yeah, Tanner is just hanging out. He's our live studio audience, and he made an appearance as a live caller as well.
First live caller in history.
First live caller in history. Well, I'm actually outside your window, so I don't know.
All right. Thanks for calling, Kamish.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. I'll see you on Saturday night, probably.
Yep. See you then.
See you.
All right. Making a big bet, $20.
First big wager we've seen.
A little wager match we got going on here.
I like it.
I mean, should we take his money if we win?
I have to send the loan sharks after him.
I mean, I think we take the $20 and just light it on fire. Yeah. In honor of the Feelers sinking ship.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think it'll be an exciting matchup. Like I said, I think AJ is going to be the toughest matchup I've faced defensively. He's fucking big as shit and he's fast. Not really looking forward to going against that, but that's why I got this guy right here.
For sure. And then kind of same vibe if he switches off and he starts guarding me. Kind of same thing. Not real excited for that, but then you get to eat. So I'll keep him busy while you eat.
All right. Well, all right. Next segment, we're going to move on to the surveys. First off, we're going to kick it off with underrated player of the week. Congratulations, Big Dave.
Wow.
You know, I think he had like about 80 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Somehow this guy continues to get underlooked. I don't know how. Like you said, he's top 5 in every offensive category. So underrated. Maybe this week. Nobody's talking about him, so maybe he is underrated. But guys got to start looking out for that guy.
I mean, he's putting on a fucking masterclass from the tight end position, kind of like a Brock Bowers type season, where this dude's putting up fantasy numbers with the wide receivers, which tight ends really shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he is their best weapon.
He is, absolutely. He showed it again this week, 3 touchdowns. I think he's had at least like 2 touchdowns in every game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been putting on a show, and I have to say, he's been proving you wrong, because I think twice you've called Dave not scoring a touchdown, and he's done it both times.
Called him out last week. Yeah.
He scored 3.
I did say Knights would win by more than 2 touchdowns. I did hit on that, but Nick did not lock Dave down.
Now, he even played good defense on him. Dave just played better offense. I know on one of his touchdowns, it was a fucking Mitch threw a dot, just dropped it in the breadbasket. Nick was right there.
Yep.
Dave's just one of those guys. He finds a way to get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because it seems like there's always just like one wide receiver that does slightly better than him, and then he just kind of falls to second place, and everyone forgets about him. But he's a hell of a player. He's always out there. He's doing his job every single game. He just seems like there's just one guy, 2 guys doing a little bit more, and It's tough to watch. He'll get it this year.
I mean, it's so tough to win Player of the Week, unless you're me, because I got 2. But I mean, even if I didn't win Player of the Week, Dave's still not gonna win it because AJ had fucking 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do against that?
Yeah.
It's even me. I mean, I had to put up a fucking record-setting performance, and even then, AJ's performance is right there with me. 9 touchdowns is insane. So the only reason he didn't break a record is because he already said it. So we're gonna go with overrated Player of the Week. Congrats to me, 2 in a row, 2 overrated Player of the Weeks. I mean, I really hated last week's overrated Player of the Week because I didn't agree with that. This week, I mean, I don't think I'm overrated as a player, but maybe the stat line with a little bit of context. There wasn't a lot of defense, so it's not like I was. I mean, I was doing what I had to do. But
I mean, for me, it's like overrated. Maybe if they're talking about the short flips you got, but 6 touchdowns is 6 touchdowns.
Right, I still had to catch the ball in the rain or catch and run.
Get open.
Yeah.
Right, I kind of understand where they're coming from, so I'm not as mad about this week's, but I do share the award with Sykes. We both received 2 votes. So, and I would like to say one of the surveys, Stikes, his stats are padded from an early lead, mostly due to LP going off early. So if you want to...
Yeah, I mean, I think I have at least 3 touchdowns every game this year. The first doubleheader I had 8 touchdowns that week. I don't know. If someone wants to guard me, that'd be great. But since, I mean, double team.
Tanner said he'll guard.
Tanner's getting cooked. I mean, doesn't matter. I'll cook anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the stats you've been putting up are pretty ridiculous. I mean, even with my fucking game this week, I'm still behind you in yards. So I'm trying to chase you down, but dude, it's hard. You're putting up numbers.
I'll say I kind of had an off week, but still put 3 touchdowns on the Fielder's dome. So
right, it's sad that I mean, your off week is a fucking career day for 90% of the RFL. You know, you're putting up more touchdowns in a weekend than some guys are putting up in a season. Now, I'd like to say the same for me. You know, maybe the performance is a little overrated, but I could probably name 10 guys. I had more touchdowns in one game than you have this year. So take it how you want it.
We just got a target on our back. When you're the best, everyone wants to be you.
Yeah. I think every overrated Player of the Week has also been the Player of the Week. So it's just tough. There's a lot of hating on greatness going on, but you know, I do understand this week's a little bit. We're gonna go to Baby Game Shitter of the Week for last week. Clanky received 5 votes.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the most votes I've seen for any of these. We've already talked about it. He had a rough game.
Yeah. Some people look for him to bounce back this week. We'll see, but I think they need a head coach. That's my thought. There's nobody on the sideline coaching that guy to press you. He's just doing the same thing over and over again.
Right. I mean, you can give Clanky as much shit as you want, but what was the safety doing? What is, you know, why are some guys on his team not helping him out, telling him to press up or something? Like, it is a team effort at some point. I was just running around. So
yeah, I mean, you could say the safety could have said, "Hey, you press him. I got him deep."
Right, that would make sense. You know,
right. But maybe Clanky didn't trust his safety help. You know, I don't know.
Tommy was eating over the top as well. So
yeah, there seems to be. We talk a lot about like the Feelers locker room. The Barons locker room seems there's a little bit of disconnect there too. I know Mitch and Seth are pretty tight, but as far as like in game goes, they were pretty much just talking to each other. Like they made the adjustment on me. Me and Seth was guarding me, and then Mitch ended up guarding me, and Seth was playing safety. But you know, someone needed to step up there and be like, "Hey, maybe Clanky, you need to be safety this time," and let Seth try to guard Vince. Or, "Hey, Mitch, you need to go back to safety, and Clanky maybe guard Tommy." I don't know. They needed to do something, but it seemed like 2 guys were talking to each other, but there needs to be one guy that kind of stands up and talks to the team.
They need a leader.
They need a leader for sure.
Yeah. I think Dave's that guy for them.
I think Dave could be that guy.
Yeah, he definitely could be. He fits the role well. He just needs to be a little more outspoken to his teammates, I think. Which is, I mean, that's definitely not a dig on him because he is outspoken. He just needs to talk to his team.
But really, that role falls on Mitch.
Yeah.
So you got to look at Mitch. He's the quarterback and the GM. So those are the 2 guys that should be putting together the game plan, offense or defense. So Dave might be the locker room leader, but Mitch is the leader of that team, so some of the blame might fall on him as well.
Yeah, gotta call the shots.
Others receiving votes, Seth received 2. Also, the whole Barons organization, so received a vote for Baby Game Shit of the Week. Next, we're going to move on to the RFL Stock Market, new segment, presented by Claremont County Stock Exchange. So we're going to go through and we're going to give you guys each one guy we're buying low on and one guy we're selling high on. So, Stiggs, if you want to give me a guy you're buying low on right now.
Give me Tommy. You know, he had one, I would say, pretty breakout week. It's going to be more expensive stock, but I think it's going to double in coming weeks. So, give me Tommy buying low easily.
I like that answer. Like you said, it's definitely not. I'm not coming off like a bad week or anything, but I think there's a lot of upside to
I'm not trying to buy a penny stock here. Yeah. I'm trying to buy a stock that's a little more expensive, but I think it has a lot of room to grow.
100%. Give me Zach. You know, you're not going to be there every game, so they're going to have to find a sub. I don't know who that sub's going to be, but if that sub's kind of not up to your caliber, I think Zach has a lot of room because he's a great guy. Once again, he's kind of like Dave in Player of the Week, where he's a great player, just doesn't get the looks because you and Logan are on his team. Unfortunately, so I'm buying low on Zach. I think.
Yeah, I think Zach's a guy where you're not going to lose money on that stock.
No,
it's almost like a savings account.
It's a good safety stock. He's a good Roth IRA stock.
Stock's at an all-time low right now. I'm going to buy low on Clanky. Tough week. You know, we gave him a lot of shit, but I think he can bounce back. It was a tough game. It was in the rain. He's having to guard me. He doesn't have to guard me every week. So I think he can bounce back. One of my favorite players in the RFL because I love to watch a guy talk shit. Clanky loves talking shit. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to buy low on him. The stock is tanking right now after last week, but I think it's only up from here.
I agree.
League-wide, the guy that as you voted on, is the league is buying low right now on Nick. So, you know, he had a 45-yard long catch this week.
Yeah.
Showed off the wheels from the tight end position. He's out this week, unfortunately, but, you know, going forward, could be a target in the red zone for the Knights.
Sure, they're talking a lot about hands, but it was raining, and I think that's the best hands we've seen of him all year. I mean, I don't know if he might have dropped one, maybe, if that even. I think he caught every target. So, I think that's a great answer from the league.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of branch out on this. Give me a team you're buying low on right now.
Give me the Barons.
Okay.
After a tough loss, I think they'll bounce back. I think they are the third best team in the league. But I think their stock's dropping low after this ass whooping this week. So I'll take the Barons.
Kind of similar vibe. Not the Barons, though. Feelers. We play them this week, and they're not going to win. But, I mean, they got a lot of new guys. I think it'll be a good game for sure. To whereas if those guys weren't there that were playing this week, it wouldn't have been a great game. So I think those guys bring a lot to the table, and I don't think they got what it takes to beat the Knights. But I think as far as Barons Straw Hats go, it should be pretty interesting. So I'm buying Barons or Feelers. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna buy low on the Hats. I think they're the third best team in the RFL. They gave us a tough game when we played them. They got a lot of speed, a lot of athletes on the team. I'm gonna buy low on them. I think they're gonna climb up to third in the standings and also give us tough games when we play them.
You have been a big Hats fan all year, it seems.
Alex, man, it's hard to guard. So hard to guard.
I mean, I don't know why I am a Hats fan because I get a lot of grief from those guys, but you know
they're kind of an underdog. Yeah. Everyone loves an underdog.
I'm just unbiased, and I like the Hats.
A lot of likable guys on the team too. Good. You got Alex, Marcus. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, good organization. I like the way they run things. Next, we're gonna go with guys we're selling high on. So, guys that are kind of riding hot right now, but you want to sell their stock.
Yeah, I'm selling Mark Clark.
Okay.
I think the Feelers organization is just continuing to burn down. Mark seems to be livid every week after every game. He won't be there this week. I'm selling Mark Clark.
Okay. Tommy?
I think I'm going to have to sell Mitch. The only reason I'm selling him...
Remember, you're selling high.
Yes, I'm selling high. I'm selling Mitch because.
But is it high?
I would buy low.
After this week, you could make that debatable. But coming into this week, all we were hearing was this guy's MVP caliber. This guy's gonna change the league. This guy's a defensive and a great quarterback threat. You know, and I just don't think we've really seen that from him yet. You know, some people could say that his stock tanked a little bit after this week, but I think it's still decently high.
Yeah.
With the Feelers getting better, they're going to be better on defense, put a little bit more grief on them. Straw Hat's got pretty decent defense with Noah safety, so I think I'm selling high on him.
I think you're a little bit of a late adopter on that one. I think if you would have sold him after, you know, maybe beginning of the year, after week 1 maybe, but...
Right. I think he's more of a buy low candidate right now. He's probably still a top 3 quarterback in the league stats-wise. I think he's a good quarterback. He throws a good ball, but sometimes his weapons are a little lacking. They have a lot of
He needs
drops.
another receiver.
Yeah.
He does. There's a good spiral. It's just...
He's got good touch, too. I mean, I think Mitch has played well.
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. It's just his weapons. They had a lot of drops this week. They've had a lot of drops every week. This week, you know, the rain, it's fucking impossible to catch. So we'll see what they got going forward. I'm selling high on AJ.
Wow.
Let's be real. Dude fucking sucks. He's only good because of his weapons.
Ooh.
What would he do without Stiggs and Logan? And Dan? Okay, that was a joke. I just wanted to give I just wanted to give Commish a little heart attack. I want to check his pulse on that one. I hope he's watching this right now and thinking, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, my actual sell high. I almost want to say myself after the crazy week that I had. You know, my stock's not getting any higher than breaking 2 records and an insane performance. But I think, you know, at worst, the rest of the season, I'm like 2nd wide receiver, so don't really want to sell my stock. So maybe Logan, after he had a really hot week. I think he put up like 3 touchdowns. Maybe sell his stock a little bit because I think AJ going forward spreads the ball around more. Some more targets for Dan, some more targets for Zach. Obviously, you're the number 1. You're commanding a lot of targets over there. League wide, the league voted as Clanky as the sell high candidate. So I have the opposite take. I'm buying low on him. His stock is tanking, so they're getting out on the way down.
Yep.
Then if you guys want to give me a team you're selling high on right now, I don't know if there's a great answer for that one. Because really, the only 2 teams you could be real high on right now is the Cougs and the Knights.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on that one. I'm holding on those stocks.
I agree. I don't really want to sell the Knights high right now. I think we're just kicking into gear. Don't want to sell the Cougs high because I think they're the best team.
Definitely could have bought the Knights low.
Yeah.
I know a couple guys in the surveys were buying the Knights low last week, saying that Knights potentially go on a winning streak, which we finally have. Started off 0-2, now we got 2 wins in a row. Last question we got: if you were commissioner for a day, what would you change about the RFL? So, Sykes, if you want to give me your answer.
Honestly, I'm gonna add another team to the RFL.
Okay.
I think we need some more comp
expansion.
We need another good team in the RFL. Honestly, add some good players. Obviously, we can't do that right now, but I think Commish is doing a good job. You know, as much shit as he gets, I think he's a good commissioner. So,
I think the RFL is competitive, but almost like I hate to say it. I'm very high on my team, but it feels like everyone's competing for 2nd place. Yeah. Not trying to glaze the Cougs, but we all know what they do week in, week out. So I think really the competition right now is for 2nd place, like us and the Barons fighting for 2nd place, or maybe the Straw Hats creep up into that conversation.
It kind of sucks for us too, because it's like every week we're expected to do this, and if we don't, all this shit's coming down on us.
It's a situation.
Right. Cougs have literally never lost a game, so maybe I should sell high on the Cougs because how much higher can it get?
Right.
You guys have never lost,
right.
So sell them now, buy them back when they lose, if they ever lose.
Right.
I think it'd be good for business if the Cougs lost a game. I think even AJ would recognize that he wouldn't mind losing a game, so he could get away from all the Cougs are stacked. Nobody can beat them. Finally, give them some competition, and it'd be good for the brand.
Maybe, yeah. I just hate losing. So.
Right, team. Nobody wants to lose.
Great team for Scarzy to sub for. Yeah. Maybe throw him in a QB, see what he does.
And some guys in the RFL would say even Scarzy could put up 9 touchdowns with those weapons. I'm not one of those guys, but somebody, I think a few guys in the RFL would say that.
Maybe it's VR.
Right. You know, he's branching out to other sports right now. So, Tommy, if you were commissioner for the day, what would you change?
That's tough because we love to give him shit. He's the head of the show. We're gonna give him some shit, but he does do a really good job. It is. I can see how it's hard to kind of get everything into place, like what guys are doing what each day. You know, putting all the stats together and stuff. But as far as what to do if I was commish, I think getting together. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. I think. What is it? Dave and Marcus are like co-commissioner, I think.
Correct.
But I feel like for things we need to we should have a vote on some things. I don't know how we could do that. I don't know if it should be a committee type situation. I don't know if it should be like a league-wide type situation. But just things that we kind of everybody gets mad at each other for in the group chat, like can you return fumbles, like that whole situation. We kind of got that figured out now. But for like subs, good comps for subs, just little things, I think, instead of one man running the show and then like some people being happy and some people being mad, I think throw it to a vote and kind of see what happens. So I think if I was commissioner for a day, I'd try to figure out a way to make the league a little more democratic and I don't know, kind of make things more of a vote.
Okay. I would disagree with that. For one main point, I think the RFL as a league is too dumb to vote on things. The general populace of the RFL seems to struggle with simple concepts like a survey. So I'm not singling anyone out because I don't know who did it, but we can't have guys voting on things. They can't even figure out the voting process.
Yeah, that's fair. It doesn't have to be league wide. It could be an organization of a few select.
Right, if we had the captains or the co-commissioners or something along those lines.
GMs, quarterbacks,
possibly. And I would like to say this question isn't meant to take a shot at AJ. It's more just like, hey, if you were running the show, what would you do? I was curious to find out everyone's takes. I will say from the surveys, shockingly, there seems to be a consensus answer, and it's to abolish the Feelers organization. And I think that's pretty hilarious because you could have said anything, and we had several votes to abolish the Feelers organization. I would remove the entire Feelers organization. Kick Brandon out. Brandon would have been gone a long time ago. Kick Clanky and Brandon out of the league.
Wow.
So Clanky got thrown under the bus on that one, but seems like a lot of guys just want the Feelers gone. And if I was commissioned, I think I wouldn't kick them out, but I do think they got to stop crying.
I think they're on thin ice.
Yeah, I think commission needs to spank them a little bit, a little bit of tough love.
Yeah. Stop wiping their ass.
Right.
Yeah.
They're getting babied a little bit.
Yeah. Make them wipe their own ass.
Yeah. They're big boys, most of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a couple other things that people would change. I thought a pretty funny answer is someone said I would set up a dirtbag/toxic versus good people scrimmage. So on the good guy team, you got Mitch, Dan, Zach, Mark, and Coyle. And then on the dirtbag team, you got Charlie, Brandon, Vince, Steigs, and Holman. So kind of a good versus evil matchup. I think that would be entertaining.
I wouldn't want to play the villains.
I mean, we're villains for a reason. But I would also say I would throw AJ as our quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think Charlie's a villain, really.
No.
I think Charlie's a good guy.
Yeah, I do too.
Not to say AJ's not, but if someone's a villain as a quarterback, it's Commish.
Yeah.
Someone said the way the draft is decided, not based off placement, but based on different events that captains can contend on. I believe that's like saying we should have some kind of competition for draft picks.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe some drinking games.
I was about to say beer Olympics.
Beer Olympics? Commish, think about that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Allow picks to be returned. I think that would actually be a good change. I think that's a valid answer.
I just think everything would be a pick six.
But don't, penalize teams for throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
It's already pretty easy to score. It would probably even inflate our scoring even more, but
it would hurt the stats, I would say. Yardage stats.
True, could hurt the stats, maybe pump up the touchdown numbers a little bit, but I think it would be entertaining watching a guy get a pick and break out.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty much a play.
Something to think about. Yeah.
Not saying we should, but that interesting take. someone said the way subs work, stop making bad teams better. We kind of touched on that. Me, you and AJ, we try to do the best with subs.
It is hard. I mean, you can't decide who you want to sub. It's just like who's willing.
Right.
Yeah. So
I feel like we've done a pretty decent job so far. It's impossible to find exact comparisons, but like AJ for Mark, pretty valid. I know like me for you was going to be a sub. If you guys played this week, Tommy for Seth, like same thing. We're trying best to match up like size and speed. The one guy in the RFL that I would say is truly unique that I don't know we have a comp for is Alex. Who's a valid comp for Alex?
I don't know.
Just from a like size and speed standpoint, because the guys that are close to him in size don't have that speed.
Then Hester,
right? And even even the next fastest guys, whoever you want to say that is, I mean, still I think Alex is quite a bit faster.
I would say there's some fast guys in the league. Like Luke's pretty fast, but he doesn't have the same hands or route running that Alex has. So
Alex
it's
is
like
quick.
Yeah,
his change of direction is crazy.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think that would be a tough guy to sub for. Yeah, I think that's everything we had.
Hell yeah. Any last remarks?
Closing thoughts, arguments,
hot takes,
call a shot.
I mean, help the feelers all you want. Not going to stop the Knights.
All right. Favorite book?
Red Rising.
It's a good book. I recommended that one to you. Anyone, if you want to check out a good book, Red Rising?
I think I'm four deep out of 7.
Yeah. A little sci-fi action, solid read if anyone's interested.
Great book.
Maybe looking to start an RFL book club.
Oh. Maybe have to get AJ in there, teach some of these guys how to read.
Possibly.
Tanner's one of them. AJ's one of them.
AJ might be one of them.
First book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah. We'll start slow.
First and last book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I think that's everything for me. Sides, you got any closing thoughts?
Tommy, thanks for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you guys next week.
That's it for us, guys.
Forever you and me, right by my side's where you ought to be. 'Cause if I ever were to lose you, I just don't know what I'd do. Let me hear you now.
Welcome back. We got one more caller for you. Hope you enjoyed that commercial.
Yeah, breaking news, we got one more caller.
What's up, fellas?
Charlie Feeler, welcome to the frying pan.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome, Chuck. Give us one hot take for this week.
One hot take? I think Straw Hats win by 40.
Wow.
I think the Straw Hats win by 40.
I would love to see that. A 40-point win out of Straw Hats would be electric.
Someone said that the Straw Hats might have an off week. Who was that? Someone called in.
Probably the commissioner.
2, 1. Go, Dan. Oh! Let's go, Dan!
Okay, back from possibly another commercial break. Had an issue with storage, so we're gonna ask you, Charlie, again. What is your favorite book you've ever read?
I'm gonna have to say Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Ooh.
I always liked Hunger Games series. I did a school project on that book in 4th grade. I always liked the book.
Solid answer out of Charlie. I like that. That's a good book.
I like the books better than the movies.
Yeah, I will say Mockingjay, the book, I think was better than the movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Charlie, if you're interested, another new Hunger Games book came out this week. Sunrise on the Reaping.
Oh,
I'm actually reading it right now. It's a pretty good book.
might have to check it out.
We're looking at starting an RFL book club, so we'll get you an invite.
Oh yeah. To get used to the budget.
Yeah, non-existent budget. Second question: who is your favorite WWE superstar of all time?
John Cena.
John Cena. That is the correct answer. That's the answer we were looking for.
The only answer is John Cena, I think. He just screams aura.
Yeah. Movie star too.
I think we possibly might see a commercial from The Rock coming in as one of the clips. Final question we got for you, Charlie, is who do you think has the worst hands in the RFL?
Oh man. I think it's unanimous. It's Marcus, but I'm gonna go Nick Hennig.
Also might be unanimous.
Tanner does not like that answer.
I hate to say it. Dude can't catch cold. I mean, it's unfortunate to say.
Yeah, I think quite a few votes have been for Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, man, but it's the truth out here.
Hey, fair enough, Charlie. Well, we appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
For
Charlie.
having me. Pleasure as always.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
See you, Chuck.
You as well.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That's it for the band.
Tommy, thanks again for coming out.
Of course.
Stick around for this rock commercial.
Coming in hot.